Welcome back to the Shigeaki podcast, where science and longevity come together to help you live stronger, longer, and with more energy every day. I'm Dr. Mark Hyman, and with me as always is my dear friend, Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara, a man whose life and work continue to inspire generations on how to age with purpose. Now many of my patients over 60 tell me the same story. They wake up feeling dizzy or heavy-headed, yet their blood pressure looks normal. They assume it's just fatigue or maybe a poor night's sleep. But sometimes what's really happening starts with the food they ate just a few hours before. Most people believe vegetables are always good, the more the better. We've been told since childhood to fill half our plates with them. And that's true to an extent. Vegetables are rich in fiber, minerals, and antioxidants. But not all vegetables are harmless, and not every time of day is the right time to eat them. Some common vegetables, when eaten the wrong way or at the wrong moment, can quietly change your blood chemistry and circulation while you sleep.
Yes, Mark, that's something I've seen for decades. Stroke doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It builds quietly through small imbalances, thick blood, tense arteries, poor circulation. Many strokes happen late at night or in the early morning hours when the body slows down. Blood pressure drops, the heart beats more gently, and blood flow in the brain can become unstable. Certain vegetables that seem perfectly healthy can make this worse if eaten carelessly. Some are high in natural sodium or nitrates that raise blood pressure for a few hours. Others disturb the balance of potassium and water in the body, or act as mild diuretics that dehydrate you overnight. Even a simple shift like that can thicken the blood, tighten the vessels, and raise the risk of a nighttime stroke.
That's the part people rarely hear. We focus so much on cutting out salt or sugar, but we forget timing and combinations matter just as much. A vegetable that protects you at lunch could become a problem at dinner. It doesn't mean vegetables are bad. It means we need to understand how our bodies change with age, and how food interacts with those changes. After 60, digestion slows and kidney function weakens. The body becomes more sensitive to minerals, so what feels light for a younger person might be too heavy for someone older. I often tell my patients food isn't just nutrition, it's information. It tells the body how to behave through the night. If that message is confusing, the body can't rest properly.
And that's what tonight's conversation is all about. We're going to talk about 9 everyday vegetables that could quietly raise your stroke risk overnight. You'll learn why it happens, what's really going on inside the bloodstream, and most importantly, is how to fix it with simple changes. Because when you know the why, you can easily master the how. By the end of this episode, you'll see that staying safe isn't about fear or restriction. It's about rhythm, knowing which foods serve your body best during the day and which ones you should let rest at night. Once you respect that rhythm, food becomes a gentle medicine again.
So stay with us. We're going to guide you through the science, share real-life cases, and give you practical tips you can use tonight. And before we dive in, if you find this podcast helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about, especially anyone over 60 who still believes that the more vegetables, the better. Sometimes even healthy foods can turn risky when timing and balance are ignored. Tonight, we'll show you how to keep them on your side.
Let's start with celery, one of the most popular health vegetables out there. People juice it, blend it, drink it every morning, believing it's the secret to clean blood pressure and better digestion. And yes, celery can help, but only when it's used wisely. Celery contains compounds called phthalides, which act as natural diuretics. That means they help your body flush out extra water and sodium, lowering blood pressure temporarily. But here's the catch: if you drink too much celery juice, especially at night, you don't just lose water, you also lose electrolytes like potassium.
Exactly. When potassium levels drop, the body struggles to maintain stable blood pressure. Many older adults experience dizziness, weakness, or lightheadedness when they stand up too quickly, and they don't realize it's because their electrolytes are unbalanced. If this happens during the night when blood pressure naturally dips, it can reduce blood flow to the brain and quietly raise the risk of a mild nighttime stroke.
That's why timing matters. If you enjoy celery juice, keep it for the morning and limit it to about 100 milliliters a day. It's refreshing and your kidneys are more active early in the day. But don't replace your drinking water with celery juice and avoid having it close to bedtime. And if you're taking diuretics or blood pressure medication, talk to your doctor first. Celery can be your friend, but too much of it, especially at night, might quietly turn into the enemy.
Now, let's talk about garlic, one of the oldest natural remedies in the world. It's praised for lowering cholesterol, fighting infections, and even supporting heart health. But like many powerful foods, the line between benefit and risk depends on how you use it. Garlic contains a compound called allicin, which relaxes blood vessels and thins the blood slightly. That's why it helps reduce blood pressure and improve circulation. But when eaten raw, especially in large amounts, it becomes much stronger than people realize.
Yes, and that's where the danger lies, Mark. I've seen many older adults who take blood-thinning medications like warfarin, aspirin, or Plavix, and at the same time eat several raw cloves of garlic each day because they've heard it's good for the heart. The result? Their blood becomes too thin. That can cause nosebleeds, easy bruising, and in more serious cases, internal bleeding or even a hemorrhagic stroke bleeding inside the brain. For people with delicate blood vessels, especially seniors, that's a real risk. So the key is moderation and preparation. Instead of raw garlic, cook it lightly, roast it, or pan-sear it to soften the allicin's effect while keeping its benefits.
And one more thing, never combine raw garlic with your evening dose of heart medication or vitamin E. Together, they can amplify blood-thinning effects. Garlic is medicine, but even medicine needs the right dose and timing.
Next up, a vegetable that seems completely harmless: cucumber. It's light cooling, packed with water. Most people think of it as the perfect healthy snack even late at night. But for people over 60, that timing can make a big difference. Cucumber is over 95% water and contains a fair amount of potassium. That combination makes it mildly diuretic. It encourages your kidneys to flush out more fluids. If you eat it late in the evening, it can push your body into overdrive while you sleep.
Which means more trips to the bathroom during the night. And that's not just an inconvenience. Every time you wake up, stand up and walk to the bathroom, your blood pressure has to adjust. For older adults, that sudden shift, especially when the body is dehydrated, can cause dizziness, low circulation to the brain, or in some cases, a mini stroke.
I've seen that too. People think they're doing something good for their body, but they're unknowingly setting up the conditions for nighttime instability. So here's the fix: enjoy cucumbers earlier in the day. Lunchtime or early afternoon is best. That gives your body time to process the water and electrolytes. And avoid salted cucumbers or pickles, especially at night. The added sodium reverses the benefits and can raise your blood pressure.
Next up is asparagus, a vegetable most people think of as elegant and healthy, often served with fish or eggs. And it really is full of nutrients and antioxidants. But for people over 60, especially those with gout or weak kidney function, eating asparagus at the wrong time can quietly strain the body.
That's true, Mark. Asparagus is rich in purines, natural compounds that break down into uric acid in the blood. If uric acid levels rise too high, they can cause inflammation in the small blood vessels, the microcirculation that keeps your brain and heart healthy. This can make blood flow sluggish, and at night, when circulation naturally slows, that's not what you want. And there's another piece of the puzzle: asparagus also contains asparagine and lots of potassium, both of which act as mild diuretics. If you eat a large serving in the evening, your body may lose water too quickly, leading to slight dehydration and constricted blood vessels. Combine that with lower nighttime blood pressure, and it can increase the risk of a mini stroke while you sleep.
The solution is simple. You can enjoy asparagus at lunch when your kidneys are most active and you're moving around. Avoid it at night, especially if you're on diuretics or managing gout. And always drink enough water during the day to help your body flush out uric acid naturally.
Okay, next we have omatos. They're sweet, juicy, and full of antioxidants. You'll find them in salads, sandwiches, and even as a late-night snack. But what most people don't realize is that eating raw tomatoes late in the evening can quietly disrupt your body's balance while you sleep. And it comes down to how tomatoes affect the digestive system and blood vessels. They contain natural acids, malic and citric acid, which can easily irritate the stomach lining, especially when eaten raw at night. For many people, this leads to acid reflux, a tight sensation in the chest, and disrupted breathing patterns while lying down.
Exactly. When pressure builds up in the chest from reflux, it can reduce circulation to the brain during sleep. That's particularly risky for older adults who already have compromised blood flow or fragile arteries. There's also the lycopene factor. Lycopene is a powerful antioxidant, but in raw form, and especially in large amounts, it can trigger mild vasoconstriction or narrowing of the blood vessels in people who are sensitive. If you're taking blood pressure medication, that effect can interfere with your nighttime circulation.
So what's the safer option? Cook your tomatoes. A light sauté or soup helps break down the acids and actually makes the lycopene easier to absorb. And avoid raw tomatoes after 7 p.m., especially on an empty stomach. Tomatoes are wonderful, but even wonderful foods need the right time and preparation.
Let's talk about broccoli. It's one of the healthiest vegetables out there, packed with fiber, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory compounds. But for people taking blood-thinning medications, broccoli can be tricky if not eaten consistently, because broccoli is rich in vitamin K, which plays a key role in blood clotting. The problem isn't eating broccoli, it's eating it unpredictably. One week you have none, the next week you load your plate with it. That kind of fluctuation can throw off the balance of medications like warfarin Plavix or even aspirin.
Exactly. If vitamin K levels in the blood suddenly rise or fall, these medications don't work as intended. That means the blood might clot too much, raising the risk of stroke or heart attack, or not enough, increasing the risk of internal bleeding. It's not about avoiding broccoli, it's about keeping your intake steady.
For most people, 2 to 3 servings a week, around 80 to 100 grams per serving, is a good target. Just keep it consistent. If you eat broccoli regularly, your doctor can adjust your medication accordingly. Don't make big changes without talking to your doctor. Broccoli is powerful, and like all powerful things, it needs a little guidance. With the right balance, broccoli supports your health, not complicates it.
Let's talk about corn, a comfort food for many people. It's sweet filling and shows up in everything from soups to late-night snacks. But most people don't realize how it can quietly disrupt blood sugar and circulation, especially when eaten too late in the day. Corn has a relatively high glycemic index, around 65 to 70, which means it raises blood sugar more quickly than most vegetables. If you eat it in the evening, when your body's metabolism naturally slows down, that sugar spike doesn't get used for energy. Instead, it circulates in the blood, thickening it and slowing your circulation overnight.
For older adults, especially those with diabetes or high cholesterol, this becomes a serious concern. Thickened blood and slower flow raise the pressure on your heart and your brain while you sleep. That's when the risk of a nighttime stroke or heart event quietly goes up.
The fix is simple. Move your corn to earlier in the day. Breakfast or lunch is ideal when your body is active and can burn off the natural sugars more efficiently. And watch how it's prepared. Skip the grilled or butter-roasted versions. Those add extra fats and toxins. Instead, go for steamed or boiled corn, which is gentler on the blood and easier to digest. Corn isn't the enemy, but eating it late can quietly push your body in the wrong direction.
Let's talk about carrot juice, a favorite for many people trying to boost their vision, get antioxidants, or simply enjoy a light sweet drink. It's packed with beta-carotene, and yes, it's healthy, but timing matters more than most people realize, because carrots naturally contain sugar, and when you juice them, you remove the fiber and concentrate that sugar. If you drink carrot juice late in the evening, your body absorbs that sugar very quickly. That sudden spike can activate the sympathetic nervous system, the one that raises your heart rate and keeps you alert. Not ideal when you're trying to wind down for sleep.
That's why many older adults who drink carrot juice at night report trouble sleeping, a racing heart, or even elevated blood pressure. And if blood sugar swings during sleep, It can impact brain circulation, leading to restlessness or even micro disturbances in blood flow that add up over time. So how to keep carrots on your side?
You should eat them cooked, steamed, or stewed during lunch. When paired with healthy fats like olive oil, your body absorbs the beta carotene much better, and it doesn't cause the same sugar spike. And definitely avoid drinking carrot juice on its own at night. Save it for earlier in the day when your body is ready to process that energy.
Let's finish with something that adds flavor and often too much heat. Chili peppers, garlic, chives. Many of us enjoy these in soups, stir fries, and dipping sauces. But when eaten at night, especially in large amounts, they can create more pressure than people realize. Chili peppers contain capsaicin, which temporarily dilates the blood vessels and gives that warming sensation. But not long after, it activates the sympathetic nervous system, which causes the blood vessels to tighten, again raises heart rate and spikes blood pressure.
And at night, that's a problem. Your body's trying to wind down, your heart rate is supposed to lower. Your circulation should stabilize. But with too much stimulation, your blood pressure can fluctuate sharply. For seniors with fragile arteries, that can increase the risk of a minor hemorrhage or a nighttime stroke. The same goes for spicy herbs, things like perilla chives or Vietnamese coriander. They may seem harmless, but they're warming vasoconstrictive and can lead to restlessness, palpitations, or pressure in the head, especially when eaten after dark.
So what should you do? Keep spicy foods for lunchtime or early dinner. If you love flavor at night, switch to milder warming spices like ginger, cinnamon, or a pinch of black pepper. These can aid digestion and gently support circulation without overstimulating your system or causing late-night spikes in blood pressure.
Before we wrap up, I want to make one thing very clear. Vegetables are not the enemy. They are and always will be one of the most important foundations of good health. But like any powerful tool, they have to be used with intention. The type of vegetable, the portion, and most importantly, the timing, those are the real factors that decide whether a food helps or harms you.
Yes, Mark? I've said this for decades. Even the best foods can backfire when used without understanding. Eating vegetables at the wrong time, especially late at night, can quietly disrupt the body's cardiovascular rhythm. When the heart and blood vessels are preparing for rest, throwing in a flood of potassium, sodium, or sharp compounds can cause small shifts in blood pressure. And over time, those small shifts add up. If you're low in minerals like magnesium or dehydrated from natural diuretics like cucumber or asparagus, your blood may become more concentrated during sleep. That makes it easier for microclots to form, tiny blockages that may not show symptoms at first, but slowly increase stroke risk.
So, what can you do? Keep it simple. Spread your vegetable intake throughout the day. Aim for 2 to 3 servings daily, totaling about 400 to 500 grams, and make leafy greens the focus in the morning and early afternoon. That's when your digestion and circulation are most active. And watch your starches at night, things like corn or sweet carrots. Save those for earlier in the day. In the evening, go lighter cooked greens, zucchini, or a warm veggie broth. Also make sure to hydrate earlier in the day. Try to finish your water intake before 7 p.m. so your body doesn't wake you up all night trying to balance fluids. And one more thing I always tell my patients, even vegetables, if misunderstood, can become a double-edged sword. That's why awareness matters more than restriction.
So tonight, take a moment. Look at what vegetables you're eating after dark. Are they supporting your rest or making your heart work harder while you sleep? Make a small note, even just for 3 days. Track how you feel in the morning, how often you wake up, or whether your blood pressure fluctuates. You may be surprised by how much power is hiding in the timing of your meals.
As we wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you with, these vegetables are not the problem. They're not dangerous. But eating the wrong vegetable in the wrong amount at the wrong time, that's the silent trigger behind millions of preventable health issues, including strokes that seem to come out of nowhere. Timing matters. Your body isn't the same all day. What nourishes you at lunch might stress your system at night. That's why we must pay attention not just to what we eat, but when. So, remember this simple framework. What kind of vegetable? how much, and what time of day. Those three things make all the difference. Your body is always talking to you through your sleep, your blood pressure, your digestion, your energy. The real question is, are you listening?
Yes, Mark. And here's something I deeply believe: food can heal or it can harm. Even vegetables must be respected. Eat them with awareness, and they will protect you not just today, but for a long life. It doesn't take drastic change, just awareness, consistency, and small steps. So if you found today's episode helpful, help us reach more people like this episode. Subscribe to the podcast, share it with someone you love, especially anyone over 60 who struggles with high blood pressure, dizziness, or worries about stroke, and tell us in the comments, have you been eating any of these vegetables at night? What's one habit you'll change starting today? Let's